Jeff Bressler, Locust Grove, Oklahoma, $1 million Buck and Bull Championship preliminary round. Spooks Wizard, L.J. Jenkins, Rudy Ramirez. And this Wizard will not be performing any magic today. Looks a little off in the right front, but nevertheless, just not going to be a good score as he runs across the arena floor. 55.8 points, 55.8 points. Another son of Pinball Wizard coming up next. This is Pink Wizard, owned by Tammy Pate of Rygate, Montana. And Pink Wizard just can't decide which direction he wants to go in. Just not a good performance for Pink Wizard. Tammy last year had that nice bull Sangre de Toro in the $1 million program. Not going to make it in this year with Pink Wizard as the bull only scores 55.6 points. Desert Orchard Ranch, Jason and Amy Mogg, Detroit Tiger, the bull. It's a nice bull that should earn a spot into the $1 million Buck and Bull Championship. There you see Joe Black up behind the chutes. Hey, what a nice run here for Detroit Tiger. Not only is Detroit Tiger going to make it into the $1 million Buck and Bull Championship, but he's going to be battling for the top of the leaderboard. Just an outstanding bull. Bull used to be named Big Tito. Was formerly owned by Terry Francona, manager of the Cleveland Indians, and then sold to Jason and Amy and Joe Black at Desert Orchard. 89.4 points, 89.4 points. That puts him in second place behind Miss Kitty's Peacemaker. It's been a bad day so far for the Barker clan. Boogie Slinger, the next bull, gone through about 4 or 5 without a shot of getting in so far. Hey, but look at this. Boogie Slinger doing his thing. I'll tell you what, that's a nice, consistent trip. Going to earn the bull a score right around the mid-80s. That's going to get him qualified for the $1 million Buck and Bull Championship as we watch the replay. And the judges certainly agree. 84.6 points. So the Barkers, after 4 or 5 disappointments today, finally get one in through Boogie Slinger. Mud Rising. TLW Buck and Bulls, CC Buck and Bulls. Are we going to look at back to, whoa. I was going to just say we're going to look at back-to-back Bulls getting into the $1 million Buck and Bull Championship. Tracy Williams, Mud Rising, looking really good at the start of the trip and then takes a stumble, but he still might have earned enough points to earn a spot there with that great action, great kick. Took that little stumble, but I think he might be a lock to get in as we wait for the judges' score. There you see that great kick, takes that little stumble, just never got into a really good spin, but I think 84.4, so it looks like back-to-back Bulls going to be making it into the $1 million Buck and Bull Championship. Now gearing up to go next, this is the ladies' man. Lagana Group, Desert Orchard Ranch. And the ladies' man seems to be running away from those ladies, so not going to be 3 in a row transferring into the championship, as the ladies' man disappointing here this afternoon in Locust Grove, 61.2 points, 61.2 points. Let's see if the Barkers could get another one qualified with the Big Red Barker Bulls, Bob and Jerry Adams. And the only thing this ownership is going to see today is red, because Big Red not doing what he is supposed to do to get into the $1 million Buck and Bull Championship. As we await his score, it's 52.4 points, 52.4 points. Chuck and Colette Rogers out of Reed City, Michigan. Their bull, Buck Rogers. And Buck Rogers not really going into outer space today either, so subpar performances back-to-back. Buck Rogers, owned by Chuck Rogers, who also owns the great sire Pinball Wizard. 71.4 points, 71.4 points for Buck Rogers. If at first you don't succeed, Buck and Bull's back with Bob and Jerry Adams and the bull Michelle. Michelle not being any bell here today either. So not much out of the last three bulls to buck. As we watch the replay on Michelle, 59.6 points. 59.6 points for the Barker-Adams entry of Michelle. B&M Buck and Bulls, their entry, Boogie Who. Chute gate opens. Boogie Who taking a few steps out, but now turning back. And man, look at this bull buck. What a strong finish to that trip. He might be right on the bubble here. I'm just taking a look at the scores. It's going to probably take currently right around an 84 to be on the bubble as we await the score for Boogie Who. Oh, man, falls just a little below that at 83.4 points for Boogie Who. Some bulls not on the bubble are our current point leaders. Miss Kitty's Peacemaker, 91.6. Detroit Tiger, 89.4. Downwind, 88.6 points. Concrete Fever in the box, Rogers and Johnston. Chuck Rogers, Skippy Johnston, partnership on this one. And it certainly looks like the concrete's not going to be settling too well here today in Oklahoma. Chuck Rogers, as a matter of fact, in the concrete business. Concrete Fever coming in 56.6 points. 56.6 points for Concrete Fever. Burl Lanier, Janice Worth, their Barker-trained bull, Carney's Magic. And coming back to you a little late here as we watch Carney's Magic bucking here. He's headed back to the carnival, it looks like, as he runs across the arena, 59.2 points. Gary Long already has one in through that nice bull Hornet's Nest. Let's see if El Bandito Dos can be the second bull for Gary Long to make it in. Bull getting into a nice spin, but not showing a huge amount of intensity or kick. As you see him there, going through the motions. Not a lot of action in the back, not a huge amount of buck. 76.8 points is the score for El Bandito Dos. Blackjack Wizard, two-pair buck and bulls. Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Blackjack Wizard takes a stumble, not much else there. So, Blackjack going over 21, so losing hand for two-pair buck and bulls today. As we wait the score, 73.2 points, 73.2 points. Two-way yo, Ramblin' Verl Ranch, Mackenzie Donnelly and the Jordan brothers. Two-way yo. Two-way yo is a term in dice in Las Vegas, and it looks like this bull has crapped out. Two-way yo, not a good performance here. This bull been inconsistent all season long, and when you needed him to be consistent, comes up with a 66.4. 66.4 for two-way yo. Leap of Faith, Bob Schaff, Pull the Trigger coming up next. Leap of Faith looking to get one in, had the 2013 $1 million Buck and Bull champion and ZY He's Twisted, and it's not going to happen with Pull the Trigger as this gun shoots blanks here today. Pull the Trigger just not able to get comfortable anywhere on the arena floor, and it is certainly indicative of his trip. And the score, 69.4 points. 69.4 points. Two-pair buck and bulls out of Alberta, Canada. Their bull Double Cross 2. Chute gate opens. Double Cross. Now turning back. Finishing strong, but not enough at the start of the trip here to get him anywhere near what he needs to be to qualify in. You could see Bull getting it on at the very end and finishing extremely strong. Should be right around an 80-point mark, but once again, not enough to make it in. 79.8 points. 79.8 points. King's Ransom, TLW Buck and Bulls. Tracy Williams' entry already has one into the championship with their bull Mud Rising. Let's see if they can make it two on the day. And much like the Leap of Faith entry, this bull just not able to get comfortable, not able to mount any sort of an attack. So King's Ransom going to have a low score, 71.8 points, 71.8 points. Todd Bosch's bull Tilted coming up next. Tilted turning back, and man, look at this little bull. What zing, what wow factor, great buck, kick, spin, intensity, and degree of difficulty. Want to talk about watching an exciting bull that you'll have the opportunity to watch again in the $1 Million Buck and Bull Championship, because he will certainly qualify in. Tilted awaiting the score, 85.4 points, 85.4 points. So Tilted headed to the $1 Million Buck and Bull Championship. Imagine that. Jerry and Luther Halpern coming up next. See if we could get two in a row into the $1 million. And imagine that. We'll only be imagining about making the $500,000 during the National Finals Rodeo, because he can't put anything significant together. Imagine that. 72.6 points. 72.6 points for the Halpern entry of Imagine That. You can imagine this, because these bulls all have a shot at the $500,000. Miss Kitty's Peacemaker, 91.6. Detroit Tiger, 89.4. Downwind, 88.6 points. Dr. K, 4 C's, K&K Bulls. Chute gate opens. And Dr. K looks like he needs the emergency room, because another bull not going to make it into the $1 Million Buck and Bull Championship.
That was Dr. K. Next up will be EC.
Dr. K going to come in with a low score here, 53.2 points. 53.2 for Dr. K. Three in a row now for Gilbert Carrillo. First bull out will be Jungle Mud, 4 C's Paleface Cartel. Jungle Mud finally turning back there, but nothing really to write home about, as Jungle Mud gets stuck in a quicksand as we await the judge's score. 73.6 points, 73.6 for Jungle Mud. Santa Carrillo Cartel, Western Cartel, 4 C's Paleface Cartel. As he turns back, getting in some nice rounds here. Going to break that 80-point mark for certain. Currently looking at our score sheets, 84 is the bubble. 84 is currently the bubble, and that would be Unknown Fever. So waiting on the score here for Western Cartel in the low 80s, but nowhere near that, I don't figure. 82.2 points, 82.2 points. Cartel's Hitman, 4 C's, Mackenzie. Next out. Man, just breaking up the joint here. Cartel's Hitman. And they should put a contract out on the Hitman, because he's not taking anyone out today with that type of buck. Cartel's Hitman. Judges in 63.6 points, 63.6 points. Hip number 85, the Big Oak Stoltzfus Buckers. And Big Oak getting it done here. Nice, solid go for the bull, Big Oak. Currently, Unknown Fever on the bubble, 84 points. Big Oak will be pretty close to that, man. I'm sure Ivan and Darren just holding their breath here for the judges' scores to come in. Can he do better than that 84 points? Oh, man, unfortunately, 83.4 points for Big Oak. 83.4. Let's see if Stoltzfus could come back with this one. Thomas and Stoltzfus, Spotted Wizard. Wait, Spotted Wizard like he's on ice skates, just slipping all over the arena floor. So they're not going to get it done with Spotted Wizard. As we watch this replay, man, the ice is slippery here in Oklahoma. Waiting on the score, 79.4 points. 79.4 points. Number 87, Wild Who, R&R Buck and Bulls. Certainly wild, but certainly also doesn't look like a son of Houdini with that performance. That was Wild Who, R&R Buck and Bulls. 67.8 points, 67.8 points. Who's a Wizard? Cutting partners. Getting ready. Hey, some nice turns for this bull. Flatten it out at the end into a flat spin. But, you know, again, we're looking at the bubble here, which is 84. Who's a Wizard probably won't get up to that 84, but another bull that's going to be awful close. Just not getting a lot of kick and buck there, just a fast spinning bull. Who's a Wizard? 83.2 points. 83.2 points. Rumble Seat, Cantankerous Buck and Bulls. So a Rumble Seat. If you're sitting in a Rumble Seat, you're getting a nice ride because Rumble Seat just taking a leisurely ride around the arena. So Rumble Seat not going to Las Vegas. 70.2 points. 70.2 points. Winding things down here. Hip number 90, Yellow Fever, Bob Schaff, Gene Baker. Whoa, bull looking to do more than he could out on that first jump. It knocked him off his feet. Now he's starting to regain his composure. Man, a real nice bull here. Some unfortunate missteps during this trip is going to hold his score down. 84 on the bubble. He's going to be close. Another bull that should possibly go into the wild card, certainly the second chance championship. 83.6 points. 83.6. Major Pain, Bob Schaff, Gene Baker. Here comes Major Pain, and I'll tell you what, he is a major pain for Schaff and Baker as he's not going to Las Vegas. Major Pain, this Pain spelled P-A-I-N versus his great daddy, Major Pain, P-A-Y-N-E. Major Pain waiting on a score, 71 points. 71 points. Back fence coming up. Cutting partners still trying to get one into the $1 million Buck and Bull Championship. 84 the bubble. Here comes back fence. Back fence jumping over the back fence. Not going to get it done here today. But I'll tell you what. Out of all the second tier kind of bulls that we've seen today, you know, those bulls scoring in the 70s, for example, I'd say back fence is the best of the worst. Gets the award for that. Score now coming in. 80 points for the bull back fence. And then there were two. Major Penalty will be the next bowl of Buck Cutting Partners, their third shot at trying to make it in. Major Penalty heading to the penalty box. So Cutting Partners trying their hardest to get to Las Vegas. Not going to make it in this year into the $1 Million Buck and Bowl Championship unless they try with a wild card, which I don't think they will do. 72.6 points. 72.6 points. And then there was one. Mr. Bill, the final bowl of Buck today. Cantankerous Buck and Bowls, 84 the bubble. Takes a couple of big steps out. Now turns back, and I mean, he looks like a champ once he turns back. The only negative for this bowl is he took those two big steps out first before he decided to turn back. But once he did, man, he looked like a champ right there. Once again, 84 is the bubble. Last bowl, Mr. Bill, 84.2. He bumps Unknown Fever and ties Chachaco for the 19th and 20th spot with 84.2. We'll be back with the scores in just a moment. You are watching the $1 Million Buck and Bull preliminary round from Locust Grove, Oklahoma. Jeff Bressler back in Locust Grove, Oklahoma, just concluding the $1 Million Bucking Bull Championship preliminary round on the road to Bucking Bull games at the National Finals Rodeo this December. 20 bulls qualified in today. There will be 25 going to Las Vegas. 3 bulls had already transferred in. Each of these bulls won a Champions Tour event earlier in the season. That was Jungle Wizard, Candy Cartel, and Omnot Alexis. Ms. Kitty's Peacemaker was the top marked bull today, 91.6. Let's take a look at the top 5. I'll call them out. Detroit Tiger, 89.4. Downwind, 88.6. Fourth place was Arm Yourself, 88. Rounding out the top 5 today, Lavalanche, 87.4. And there you see the results that bring you down to number 20. Once again, 19th and 20th. Shared by Chachaco and Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill, a lot of excitement at the end of the day here as he was the final bull out and the final bull to transfer into the $1 Million Buck and Bull Championship. 2 more slots will be determined prior to the $1 Million Buck and Bull Championship in Las Vegas in December. That will round out the field of 25 that will compete for $1 million with $500,000 going to the winning bull.